Okay, so the new wave of Star Wars Black Series action figures could be found at your local Walmarts. So for this video, we have number 44, Moff Gideon in Dark Trooper armor. Okay, as for product codes, there you go guys. And as for accessories that are included, so we have the helmet on this section, and we have the sidearm or the pistol or the blaster, and we have the fighting stuff in its two configurations, so the extended and the non-extended version. So let us first measure this guy up. Basic action figure stands around the 5.5 inch mark. As for close-up details of the action figure, let's start with the head sculpt or the head unit. So, details on the armor, belt, and we have details of the arms, the legs, and the back of the action figure, and the flight pack. Okay, for contrast, there you go. And as for the details of the Dark Trooper helmet, okay, basic articulation points. So on the head, left and right movement, and because we have two ball joints, so this is the articulation, nodding left and right, very limited with regards to range of motion for looking up, limited range of motion for looking down because of, yep, there you go. So some form of modification is needed if you're going to keep this action figure and you want to play with it. So yeah, you need to take out a little bit of material on this section to improve articulation point. And this is the look. This is how the cavity of the head unit looks like. So for those of you guys who want to improve articulation points on the head. Okay, so let's move towards the body. Now this section is the front armor, right? But the actual body of the action figure looks smaller underneath this plastic. Okay, so as you could see, you could stick that in. So we're going to actually dismember this action figure. So for my fellow customizers or kit bashers who would really really want to take pieces of armor from this action figure or possibly make this better, so you could take a look at the individual pieces. Okay, so for that body, they could have possibly made this hollow piece, so to improve articulation. I really don't know, because it really did not improve much articulation. It's going to be just your standard Star Wars Black Series articulation points, which we know. Yeah. Anyway, so this piece also looks like G.I. Joe Classified Series band briefs. So it's a separate plastic piece. Yeah, it is. Okay, so we'll discover later once we take this figure apart for pieces check. Okay, so that's a ball joint. We don't have any articulation point on this leg for thigh rotation. Single point of articulation or bend on the knee, and just like your standards Star Wars Black Series thing, wherein you have the knee protectors still on this section and not on this section. So yeah, anyway, So articulation points on the leg, so on the foot I mean. So there you go, elevator shoes. Because this guy is of small stature, 5.5 inches. I would have wished that this action figure would have been a little bit taller, because the other Star Wars Black Series action figures which this guy came with in the lot, they're a little bit bigger. So as evidence, I also purchased another one. So yeah, take a look at that. Cody is bigger than this guy. This guy is the smallest action figure in the lot. Okay, as for articulation points on the shoulders, so single bend on the elbows, rotation on the handsets, and as for the swivel, so let's take a look. Oh, where is that swivel? Is it going to be on the thumb section or on the wrist? Really can't tell. It's just rotation point. Well, there you go. Okay, so it's on a ball joint, so that's the answer. Okay, so yeah, have to put it back in. Okay, there you go. So we're ready to take this figure apart. Okay, so we took the action figure apart so we could really discover whether it is worth the price that we're paying for it, and second, for reference for future kitbash or custom build, for those of you who want to improve on this action figure or possibly use parts of this action figure for your very own Dark Trooper. Because I already have my version of a Stormtrooper. My version. Well, we're going to discuss this. Actually, this guy has more plastic to it than this. Okay, take a look at the main trunk. So we did not take this neck joint off. So yeah, just for future reference. So butterfly joints, and actually I was really surprised at the amount of heat that you need with dismembering this action figure or taking it apart. Just about 5-6 seconds of hair dryer time, and the figure, you could literally take it apart. Wow, that plastic feels so lightweight. And take a look at this. Okay, so as for articulation point, so just as I have suspected, standard Black Series articulation points, and very little articulation point on the waistline because of how this thing is constructed. Whoa, okay, so discovery. And why this action figure looks like a bloated cosplayer? Well, that's the answer. Small chest and very big abdomen. Even if you have this on, it's just not enough the justification for this design actually. There you go. So let's take a look at those butterfly joints and the other side. Yeah, okay. Now the armor, very big bulky piece. So just as I had demonstrated earlier, that's the reason why I was able to put this stick right through, because we have so much gapping space. Okay, so well, for customizers out there, so this is how the cape is attached to this piece. So you could actually take it off and replace it with a new one. So the flight pack, So that's the hole for the back side, and it connects on that side, and it's lightly glued. So the glued portion, there you go, that's it, it's lightly glued. So actually, just a little amount of heat, you could take this backpack off. Okay, now huge man briefs, really out of proportion. Okay, short legs, and once heat is applied, this joint becomes very wobbly. Okay, let's take a look at the construction of the shoulders. Okay, so this armor piece is connected that way. Okay, so it rotates with the entire arm actually. And with regards to the connection for the handsets, we already showed that earlier, but well, just a recap. There you go. So you guys would already have an understanding of how Moff Gideon is constructed. Okay, so very small action figure. Actually, I really want a bigger, bulkier Moff Gideon. A Moff Gideon that really looks like a bad guy. You guys know, you guys understand what I mean? Did I say it grammatically correct? And well, anyway, so yeah, just like Darth Vader, the appeal for Darth Vader when you see him or you take hold of the Darth Vader action figure, you remember that movie scene. But with this guy, wow, it's just way too small. Okay, so we're going to restructure this Moff Gideon action figure. Okay, so let's start with the base body. Okay, this is Ollie's Best Echo, this lower portion. The original piece, Moff Gideon, this portion. With this portion, this lower half with the beer belly gut. Okay, so when you actually put this on, so guys, start imagining how this action figure is going to look. Okay, so somehow proportions are better, so let's snap on that head. Okay, oopsie daisies. Okay, is it in? I think so, yeah, it is in. Okay, now let's just pull that. Okay, now, okay, so this looks better, and let's put on that helmet. Okay, so I'm starting to like it. And with regards to this piece, so we're just going to carve out the belt, since we don't need the crotch protector nor the butt protector. We just need the belt because we already have the pelvic armor from the Echo figure. Okay, so let's move on with the build. So final build, of course less the paint, so you guys could really take a look at this time the anatomical proportions of the action figure, less the parts that we interchange. For example, this, yeah, we've been cheapened out by Hasbro. Okay, look at that. And beer belly, really don't like that. Short legs, so this I really measured with other Star Wars Black Series action figures that I have on board, including the ones that I keep on box. So yeah, these pieces would really throw off the anatomical proportions of the action figure. Okay, so let's unmask, so you guys could really appreciate this time that, yeah, take a look at that. So this guy, you know that he is wearing a suit of armor. Okay, so still bulked up. Well, I really had no choice but to use the upper portion of this body part, the original body part, because where would I possibly connect the flight pack? Okay, so other changes. Now that we I showed previously how I took apart the action figure. So okay, changes. So with regards to the cape, this is the change that I incorporated. So I thought about, why would he have a full length cape and a flight pack, wherein the flight pack is going to burn the cape. So the Mandalorian had, whenever he would don his flight pack, he would find a way as to how to keep the robe or the cape material out of the way of the flight pack. Okay, so having that in mind, so this is the design that I thought of. So you could possibly just do this. There you go. So that's the reason why I took off material. So just do a little bit of folds of the cape to keep it away from the thrusters. Okay, and leave some material that's going to be under this thing. Okay, now we're ready to attach that flight pack to the back of the action figure. Oops, the material is snagging. Okay, so yeah, okay, it's going to be that. Okay, there you go. So one quick easy fix. So he still has the cape, and just fold for style. Here you go. Okay, so that works. Okay, and put the helmet back on. Yep, so figure still looks good actually. There you go. Okay, so we added a new weapon for this guy. What was, yeah, why would he really use such a small pistol? You have a very sophisticated armor, but your primary weapon is a micro pistol. Anyway, so I have been reserving this for possibly something of a build like this. So finally, there you go. Okay. So this is how the action figure looks from the back section. There you go. So next thing that we're going to do is to paint waist down black, so somehow it would look like the original image, or what he looked in the show. Yeah, and this time with the proper anatomical proportions. There you go. Okay, so if you like this short review and customization or kitbash of Star Wars Black Series number, what's your number again? 44. Moff Gideon in Dark Trooper armor. So like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review.